Hey guys, we're back again looking at another aircraft kit this week. This time we're going to be looking at Tamiya's 1/48 scale Supermarine Spitfire Mk.1. Now, this particular version is the earlier tooled version from the early 90s, not the newer tooled version that came out around 2018. So let's see how this looks, and we'll try it the best we can do to compare it to the newer version. I'll say, unfortunately, I do not own the newer version, so we're not going to be able to do a direct comparison anytime soon. But you never know. Now, opening up, one thing I immediately noticed was the smoothness and the fineness on the engraving of the detailing on the fuselage. This was all very nicely done, nicely scaled, and pretty decently deep. So once you come back in with a wash or anything, that will just really pop. Similarly, detailing through some of the various cockpit components was also very nice, and despite its age, just very fine, very, very crisp. Definitely great example of typical Tamiya quality. Again, if we can, this will focus, hopefully. Here again on the main gear, main wheels, just very fine detailing. This was something that just really surprised me. The one issue I do have is the pilot figure. Fortunately, he's not the best in terms of molding and sculpting. He's passable, but not that great. Definitely one I would say maybe pass on. Moving on to the landing gear. Again, detail is good. Don't really see the need to go aftermarket there. But again, I mean, really just out of the gate, I'm really happy with this. One other issue, and this is really just getting a little nitpicky, is that this door is closed, so you won't be able to pose it open. So that will make some of the cockpit details a little harder to see. Continuing on. And again, another small complaint is there is some fair bit of ejector pin marks in some of the cockpit detailing that, granted, probably won't be seen that well once you close it up, but it is there, so that is something to be aware of. But overall, on this first sprue, very happy. Despite, again, being from the early 90s, the detailing is definitely there. So I don't know if it's entirely possible. I just happen to get a very good copy, but again, you can see a lot of that detailing here on the main wing halves, as well as the upper. Now, one area I will dock it a little is you only have 2 of the 4 machine guns per wing shown. Would have been nice that they include a little something for the inboard ones, but again, that is a bit of a nitpick. Also, weak point are the exhausts, and hopefully this will show up on camera. If you can see on this particular one, they are closed up, and the molding on the openings is non-existent. So that would be one area you might want to splurge on. That's basically it for that sprue. Now, continuing on to the clear parts, you do get several options for the canopy. Either the blown version here or the straight version here. And you get, in fact, actually 2 versions. One with the little opening door there. I don't know how well that will show up on camera. And one with it deleted. So that is one thing you'll need to check references on for the particular one you're building. But other than that, again, detailing is there. I mean, Tamiya did a great job with this kit. So let's move on to the decals and the instructions. Now, since this is an older kit, it's very likely decals will start to yellow with time. Unfortunately, my copy does have a little bit, but thankfully it's not too terribly bad. The whites on this sheet appear to have survived a little better. But thankfully, RAF roundels are pretty simple as far as designs go. So in a pinch, you could theoretically paint them yourself, but you may want to source some roundels. Other than that, again, you have several options. And aside from a little bit of yellowing, they should be more than serviceable. Now, moving on into the instructions. As with most aircraft kit, build-up starts in the cockpit. No real gotchas, just be careful and study instructions beforehand. You'll definitely want to decide if you want to use the pilot figure or not right away, because I don't see you getting them in once you start buttoning everything up. Do like that they have you put the cockpit in from the underside so you can at least get everything closed up and lined up first, and then try to wiggle it in. Just be careful you don't potentially scrape any paint off attaching it. And then moving on, just building up from there, hosing up the cockpit, deciding which camber you want, and then adding on the little bits and pieces. This kit comes with, as I said, 2 marking options. One with a single color underside and one with this asymmetric version. And for the larger paint sheet, you only get it for that first one. But that is a nice inclusion and reference. So, overall, as of the time of this recording, the difference in price new between this version and the newer tooled version is only about a couple of bucks. Given that difference, and this is based purely on what I've seen of the sprue shots, what comes in it, and all that, I find it hard to justify the two in terms of new cost. Unfortunately, the newer tooled version adds enough between photo etch and all that to fortunately edge it out, especially at the price difference. Now, if we're talking secondhand price, though, if you can find this kit probably for like $10, I would say definitely grab it. For that price difference, it's a steal. Especially if you're buying this for someone who might be starting out modeling, I would say this is a fantastic kit to get for them. I mean, this is almost at the point where you can just shake the box and a model will pop out. It's very, very beginner friendly. And yeah, I cannot say enough about that. So that was a look at Tamiya's 1/48 scale Spitfire Mk.1, the older tooled version. Very good kit, especially if you can find it on the cheap. It really holds up despite its age. So until next time.